There we go, guys. We're going to shade with tropical blue, paint out, water in, and work our way inwards. Flip your brush over, go to the other side, and work your way inwards. And then I'm going to take actually my 1/8 lunar blender. It's easier to do the dry brushing in the middle here with that. I'm going to mix a little bit of warm white with Indian turquoise, scuff it off. I use a wrecked lunar blender for dry brushing a lot. And nice and soft, dry brush those lines, or dry brush a highlight in the middle there. And then I'm going to use my liner and I'm going to do an outlining and stripes. So we are going to do that with warm white. So of course you have to thin your warm white with water. Thin it down, make it nice and inky. And I will pull it along. And then I'm going to add stripes. It doesn't matter what size they are, you want them relatively to be the same. So if you start in the middle and work your way back on either side, it seems to help keeping them relatively closer in size. All right, I find if I start over here, by the time I get over here, they look like they're a runway getting bigger. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Same thing on the purple hat. We're going to be shading with bittersweet chocolate to create the sides to this wood. So we shade down, come down here, and this is what gives it a side. Come all the way down, need a bit more moisture. Small brush holds small amounts of moisture. Get to there, lift, shade there. We'll do the same thing coming back here. Now one goes over the other. So this one here is going over the other. It's crossing over top. I've got this pebbling on this tile. I must be running right along a grain line, a fault line. So we do that. I'm just going to do a quick dry. And we're going to shade to create the line on the top. We'll give the whole line to the top. Now we're shading behind her hat. Flip it. I keep flipping my brush under her hat. Just walk it down. Behind her arm, walk it up. I'm going to need a bit more paint again. Shade under her arm, walk it down. And this is where we create the leg crossing in front of the other leg. Walk it down. And we can shade along the bottom. We're going to pull a few little blades of grass after up in front of with your liner later on. In the same colors, you'll just kind of brush mix and pull a few up. But that creates the side to the chair. I'll strengthen these ones on this side, either side of this after. Okay, you're going to do the same thing on both chairs. I'm going to take a little bit of warm white mixed with terra coral. And I'm just going to add a little highlight on our lips. I'm using my liner. And then I'm going to take just a little line of joyful pink and come through the middle of their lips. That's it. There's nothing dramatic done to their lips. That's what we do.
So, joyful pink and
we're going to shade our bathing suit with the Poetic Plum.
So you shade all around the bathing suit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these right here, you're only using to shade. Certain of those are two. Only use it to shade. And those two.
As it dries. Let's walk that up a little bit. We're gonna dry brush, now that it's dried, some baby pink. Look at that, how fabulous, without any surgery. Then we're going to take, that's what happens with mine. I'm going to take a stylus. And I'm going to add some tiny little baby pink polka dots on her bathing suit. So we do that, have her little, I'll do the bottom as well the same way. And now we're going to do sunglasses. Shade.
There's an Indian store on
All the way down the
that Mackenzie shops there all the time, and I know they have rice paper. They have all the foods. I've seen this someplace else too. I think Walmart has it. Google it.
and shade down this side. And then I'm going to dry, but I'll shade along the top and shade along in front. That's going to put the glass in front of the straw. Same thing here now. This might be dry enough to float there.
Because I have to go. Call me for my appointment tomorrow.
I'm going to shade the glasses with a float of Royal Navy all along the outer edge of our frame. Some of us have the glasses that stick up over top of our hat. And I'm going to bring my float up there as well, just to see if I can cover that and make it look like both are the same. Flip my brush around, come around, and shade along this side. You can shade, actually they look fine like that. On the pink ones, we'll shade around the inside of the lens with the dark. I'll give it a quick dry with my gun. And I'm going to dry brush and do a highlight line of Indian turquoise. So we're just going to do a little tiny dry brush. So when you're doing a small dry brush like that, you can use a small rect lunar blender. Again, I use those a lot. Just a little highlight. And then I'll just take my liner and I'll add some Indian turquoise highlight lines, just a couple little swipes. You can even put one on the bridge if you like. A little thicker, make it a little heavier. These are snazzy goggles. So we're adding those highlights on there. Now we've shaded the Royal Navy on the blue stripes, and I'm going to take the gingham blue. That's my highlight for the end, and I'll float a little highlight there. So that's going to be, I'll just move that, hope I'm not making you all too dizzy. I'm going to float gingham blue along the edge of the blue sections as our highlight on our chair. So that's, I've got a little bit here, a little here, and I think I'll just come along the top and down with that corner. There. All right. That corner I was referring to was up here. Okay, that's our shading on there.